Do you have it? Do you have it paused?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. All right.
paused and
Yep, I
it's
see it.
going now. Got it?
Yep.
Cool.
Can't wait for you to tell me how bad I am.
Are you running armor? It looks like you are. How much does Azir start with?
I have no. I think I have
Are you running?
yeah. I have armor and MR.
Okay. You don't need to run MR, especially with Darius jungle and Varus mid. You could
Should
definitely
I have
run
gone for my CDR per level?
CDR per level. I like that to like 10%. That's what I usually run. Also, you could do
Um.
scaling AP per level if you want that as well. But MR, I don't really think is that valuable. The only thing that there is a threat for AP damage is any support,
Any.
so it's not that big of a deal. That's also like a very little thing. It's like min-maxing. It's not huge, but it makes a difference in some matches. Just make sure you're running armor against armor
Yeah.
champs.
I have the page. But I thought I was supposed to have scaling HP. What is it? Seals,
Uh-huh.
right? The yellow ones. Which I just have flat HP, so I don't really know like when to use it, especially since like um, that means I wouldn't have armor. I would just have HP.
I like well, I actually don't run them ever, but I see people running them against like AP mids that can't kill you like between levels 1 and 6, and then that
Hmm.
kind of it takes off from there. If they can't kill you between 1 and 6, I see a lot of people just run flat health, which is what I usually run. I just run flat health yellows. And also
Hmm.
depending on like how strong their early jungle ganks are, if they have like a Lee Sin or something that might camp you or like an Evelynn, sometimes it's better just to run flat HP.
Hmm.
Alright.
Okay, that makes sense.
So in this match, you have Doran versus Flask and Potts. So basically, and he also took the Biscuit utility tree. So what I'm thinking is when I see this is you don't want to be trading, because if you're trading a lot, he's gonna push you out of lane because he's gonna out sustain you like super easily. Like this trade for you is
Hmm.
like super bad. Like even if you win that trade by like 50 health, it doesn't matter because he has so much more sustain and he's gonna push you out of lane. So what I see a lot
Is
of
it not
Azir.
worth it to have like? Sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
Um, I guess my rationale behind it was like I noticed he had that, but I thought it would be better to keep him at a lower HP so I can set him up for a so he can be set up for a gank.
Uh,
Should I not be thinking that way, or?
it's you can be thinking that way, but the only way you could really achieve that, in my opinion, is if you could get damage for free. And I'll tell you how you could get free damage, like right now. So what I see a lot of, like if you ever watch streamers like Bjergsen or
Mhm.
Phoenix or whatever, and you watch them play Azir, like high level Azirs, what they always do is they're gonna take their soldier and they're just gonna clear from level 1, just clear the whole wave, like ignoring the mid laner and just clearing as fast as possible. Because what basically happens is like, so say you're just putting your soldier here and clearing this down. If he has no melee minions here anymore, and then he tries to auto attack harass you, you have 6 minions that are going to be on his face, like as soon as he autos you, and then you win that trade really hard. And then if he doesn't, which is what normally happens, you just put your soldier on the back line, and then you clear that out, and then he's pushed to tower. And then basically, whenever you can push your opponent to tower, as long as you don't get ganked, like, and you don't take a bad turret aggro timing, you could get free harass. Because if you kind of wait for the turret to shoot a minion, and then you get a free just auto attack, that's like what, 55, 52 damage
Mhm.
at level 1, and that adds up. So like if you want to kind of whittle him down and burn through his sustain, I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay, and that applies to other mid laners too, right? I know
Sure.
for TF, people if it's like a bad matchup, pro or like high elo people I've seen like use a red card on the back line to
Exactly,
like.
exactly the same idea.
Okay.
So have you ever
Mm.
wondered why they do that?
Honestly, no. I only picked that up from watching one of LS's videos when he was like commenting on Apto's TF game.
Oh, I saw that guy is fucking weird, dude. I don't know what that guy's
Yeah,
deal is.
I don't like watching LS, but
I think he's actually not very good at the game. But that's neither here nor there.
he has some weird analogies. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the analogies are fine. It's just that like he was talking about like DI, like it's Smash or something. Like that's such not an issue for League of
Oh yeah.
Legends. It's absolutely insane. Um, but I don't know. That doesn't matter.
Oh, that was a bad CS miss.
That's I mean that's inconsequential too here. Sorry, I'm kind of like getting sidetracked.
No, that's
Um,
fine.
so, but basically, what you're like already lost half your hit points, so you could burn through both your biscuits pretty easily. So just
Which I
kind of
did.
the way you want to play this lane is you want to clear these minions out. So that's a pretty good trade for you right here, right? You do a lot of damage to him, but he's just burning through his first potion.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, I'm doing a lot of damage to him. I maybe should be doing this more, but
Well, the other thing
you're
too is
right.
that you
He
took
just
barrier
sustains it
too,
out.
right? Like
Mm.
if you have ignite, maybe I could see that play a little bit more. But like especially because you have a defensive summoner, like there's so little chance I think for you to see like these kind of trades right here. You see how you Q auto him for a
Yeah.
shitload of
Can
damage
you
basically.
like pause it for 1 second?
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry. 1 sec. All right. Sorry about that.
It's all good, right?
Yep.
All right. So you're in the middle of the lane, and that's a really good trade for you. Going a little bit too crazy, I think. I think just queuing in one auto is probably fine. It looks like you get a little bit greedy and try to go for two autos.
Yeah, I definitely do.
So if you could kind of bait out his Q, like then you win that trade like super hard. If you bait this Q right here and then juke that. But the other thing too is if imagine if this is pushed to his tower, and then he doesn't really have as much opportunity to. Oh, you missed. Yeah, you missed the cannon there. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But that's all right. It's not a big deal.
I think it's just part of that's me just getting used to him too.
Sure. His auto attack animation is really nice. So I really like his auto attack
Yeah, I
animation.
liked it.
All right, so it's pushing out. Their jungler is Darius, so that's pretty scary. That's a decent ward. But if Darius goes the
Probably
long
should've
way
put it-
around, you'll still
Yeah.
die.
I probably should have put it a little further.
Yeah, if you're gonna ward over there, I actually like it further out.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is okay, especially because you're Azir, because you could do the WEQ. It burns your whole
Mm-hmm.
mana bar, but it's not that bad. So like this position that you're at is like super dangerous. So that's really good harass. See how he's kind of it's pushing under his tower, so he wants to farm all this stuff. So he's kind of worried about that, and then you take the opportunity to get all this free damage on him, which is really good. This is a really good trade for you. Nice, very nice. But the problem is here is you're like super vulnerable to ganks.
Yeah.
So
That's why I don't think I tried to do it more often.
actually, this is really smart positioning. I think you realize that you're pretty vulnerable. So it looks like
Yeah.
you're hanging back. You have jungler support here, so now you could really kind of push up, and then you see Darius top. I'm not sure if you're watching there.
Yeah. Yeah, he leaves though because of Darius top.
No, but that's fine because then you know that you're not getting ganked, basically, right?
Mhm.
Unless there Annie roams mid, which usually doesn't happen. Like you're pretty safe, so you could abuse your Azir range. But the one thing that this is pretty good positioning too. So do you ever kind of mess with the position of your waves and stuff? Because what I would have
Um,
done here a lot earlier, that's like not super obvious, is your wave is kind of pushing right here, right? So I would clear this out ASAP so I could get it to his tower because um, when you have this situation where like you have more caster minions, what's going to happen is if you don't push it to the tower as soon as possible, you're going to be vulnerable for the next 1 or 2 minutes to ganks. It
Because it's
doesn't
just gonna
matter in this
freeze
game. Yeah, because it's not gonna, yeah, it's gonna freeze, right? You're right.
in front of his turret.
Yeah, it's gonna be in that really shit spot. So if you have that balance, like you want to push it to their tower, like for first of all, it's for safety, and then second of
Mhm.
all, like he has these ones that are half health. He's not gonna get that CS unless he like somehow burns a shitload of mana.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's just like it's two advantages just to push this out ASAP.
I
So if
think a
you
lot
push
of
this
it's
out
also
further, like
trying to
see,
be
it's
very.
like it's super frozen right here. If this this guy was smart, he would try to keep this here as long as possible because the longer he can keep this here, uh, the more he has like a kill potential on you, basically.
Hmm.
But you're really harassing out of lane very well there, so that's really good. First day Azir, huh? Not bad.
I've played him like once before, but yeah, basically first days here.
Nice. So okay, it's pushing to his tower now, and then in this situation, um, if you want to be like really sneaky and you have, say you're playing TF here, you'd want to communicate with your junglers. Like, look, middle lane's pushing towards me. And then if you have that situation where you could freeze it in front of your tower, especially if you're playing a character with really good CC, like Annie or TF, or basically anyone with like a point and click stun before level 6,
Hmm.
if you have that situation where he's extended, like it's always a free kill, and you could call your jungle over, and then that usually results in like snowballing you and your jungle a little bit. Nice juke on the Q. So it's pushing towards you a little bit. You're sitting on 770. As far as build is going to be concerned, I'm guessing going for Nashers. I think that's kind of standard right now.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure if I should go for yeah, see that was one of the horrible jukes. Um, I was not entirely sure if I should go Zonia's because he's AD, but
Ooh,
I
taking a
ended up
lot of damage
going
for free there. Oh,
yeah,
dang. Got destroyed.
yeah,
Does he have
yeah. I
Ignite? Oh, he
wasn't
has
paying
heal.
attention to the wave.
Yeah, so pretty bad
The-
positioning there.
Yeah.
So Zonia's is good. I don't like it first, like ever. If you want to go for Seekers first, like that's always cool. That's fine. Got to be careful here. But you have barrier, so you could be a little bit greedy. And like, see how you're basically like, this is the situation I wanted you to put him in earlier, right?
Hmm.
Where you're just kind of scrambling for all this, and then he's just taking free pot shots at you with his Q, and like you can't really, there's no counterplay for you really.
Hmm.
So this is really how you could like dominate in mid lane, is if you could control these kind of situations a little bit better, especially at like lower MMR brackets.
I think that includes gold. I feel like most people. I mean, I already know. I definitely didn't really know how to do that.
No, that
Um,
it's not something that you see like even in like platinum. Like I see a lot of people don't do it very well.
hmm.
Uh, like platinum players usually have like really solid mechanics, but it's just like those little things that like you'll have to figure out somehow by watching someone else do it and kind of thinking about it, or someone just tells you. It's not obvious is basically the point I'm trying to make. So he pushes
Hmm.
you out, and that kind of goes to show that
Yeah, I lose the wave.
like he's 13 CS on you, right? And this is, if you had more health, if you didn't take so much poke, like it's just his opening was just that much stronger than yours because he
Hmm.
had flask and pots, and like you went for trades. If you just went for farm, like you could be even right now, or maybe if you pushed earlier, you might be able to harass him out through his sustain. But you have to really outplay someone to harass him out of flask 3 pots when you have Doran 2, right?
Hmm.
So one way you can counter the sustain thing is too, though, is just pushing your wave out quickly, and then when you see that it was stopped over here, just base because it's going to come back to you, and then you can go get your first buy-in, and then go pick up your codex or you pick up your attack speed, whatever you want to buy, and also get some wards. You don't really have to worry, but
Hmm.
that's how you, because it's about conservation of your minions, right? Because when I talk about your minions, I mean like your farm minions, the ones that you're going to farm from their side. So
Hmm.
if you push out his side quickly and then just base, like you don't get stuck in the situation where you just lose this whole cannon minion. This is kind of like a mini disaster. It's not that big of a deal, but like at high levels, um, these kind of things like set you behind a lot, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the gold difference right now, you're down basically a kill. Like you're down 300, and he's a third, or maybe a quarter of the way to 7, and you're not even 6 yet. So it's like you basically have lost a kill just based on how that last kind of your whole laning phase so far has played out.
Hmm. And I think after this point too, I also just sort of started to tilt a little bit.
Why?
Just because I knew I got behind from losing that wave.
Oh, that's nothing, man. This is solo queue. You could be 0 and fucking 10 and come back still in solo queue. You gotta don't tilt from that, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy talk.
there's also some weird moment. I don't remember exactly what time, but basically what happens is my mouse battery dies.
Oh, really?
So I had to like go back like towards tower, and then like I was like click I missed like a bunch of farm near my tower. Then I had
Yeah,
to click on my touchpad to like go back to tower and then go grab like a cord. So
gotcha. So, yeah, if this guy was better, he would freeze this here and fuck you over. And then you'd have to go out and extend and get wards. Like, I don't know why you're just kind of like standing here. I guess you're kind of worried about dying. You're not in really any risk. You have your ulti and you have all sorts of escape options.
I thought
Um,
maybe that would be I thought people do that so that the it puts pressure on the other team because they think you might be roaming.
it does that, sure, but this is like the worst time to do it
Mm.
because you have such a huge wave here. When you do this, sure, maybe like they play back a little bit, but what ultimately ends up happening is you're going to lose this whole wave, unless he pushes it out for you, which he's doing, um, which is a mistake on his part. If I'm him, I'm just letting this all get eaten for free and causing you to get even further behind, right?
Mm.
But this is like the worst time to do it. A good time to like step off the map is maybe if it's like an even minion wave in mid, and then you could kind of play just off to the side for a little bit, and then Varus will like cue the wave just in case that you did leave and he wants to push it to your tower. And then in that case,
Mm.
the wave is pushing towards you and you don't miss anything, and then you could set up a gank for your jungler.
Mm.
That's something that you could do. But just like the situation you're trying here, I don't think it's really. See, like you missed 3 melee minions just like for nothing, basically.
Yeah, and he's also not exactly stronger than me since he has to go tier.
Yeah, and he just has tier, and then it's almost 7:20, so your blue's gonna be coming up soon. I'm not sure if your jungler's probably gonna give it to you. It's like Wukong, so he doesn't need it. But another thing to be thinking about too is that the jungle blue buff timing. So clearing this out so you could go move over to your blue is just efficient play. Um, Here you're just kind of like see like it's gonna be pushed up your turret, and Wukong's already he could be positioned for his blue. Looks like he might try for a gank. Good pink over here. I like that pink ward.
Yeah, I've started to do that a lot.
May have gone a little early. Looks like you still get him. Nope. Oh, don't get ulted under tower. That sucks. You got fucked. He's
Yeah,
dead.
no, this part's really bad. I was like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then I take like a bunch of damage because I don't know. I guess I should have just left him because I should have known he was just gonna die to turret.
Yeah, you could play this much better. Um,
I think if I did the combo right.
yeah, definitely. And if you really want to secure the kill, just flash and ult him to your Wukong, right?
Hmm.
Like if you're here, so you could E and then flash ult and just secure
So I
it.
should have E'd to that earlier to and then flash ulted.
If you really want to, like, yeah, get the kill for sure. If you're more familiar with Azir, what you do is you put your W here. So, like, you plan preemptively because your W range, your cast range is short, but the range of your E is significantly longer. So you could bait people really well. So say your E is like right here or something, and then you start playing back over here while your E is just sitting there. And then what you do is you
You mean your
E
soldier?
and then you eat it way over here, and before you hit your soldier, it takes a little bit of practice, but before you hit to your soldier, then you Q
Then
onto
you
him,
Q.
and then you
Yeah.
go like super fucking far. Like I'm sure you've seen it happen.
Yeah, no, I try to actually just practice it whenever I'm at base sometimes. But so where did you want me to put the soldier? Where
So
would you say
like
put
just
it?
like right here, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter where you put it, but
Hmm.
the key is that you want to be preparing because you knew Wukong was coming, so you want to pop your soldier earlier because then you could maximize your range, and then
Hmm.
you could trick Varus into thinking he's a little bit safer than he really is. Because if you're say your soldier like see how it's right there, that's fine too. And then say for example you're back here, like he might play up more. He probably will play up more just because like okay I'm gonna try to hit him with a Q or whatever. You know
Hmm.
this isn't warded like 100%. Your pink is right there, so you know that he's not worried about a gank from here, or if he is, he has no vision of it. So if you're playing back more, he probably plays up a little bit forward more, and yeah, you could definitely EQ right there. And even this spot is fine. Like if you just EQ
Yeah,
there and then just
I wouldn't have
immediately
even
ult,
needed to flash
you
them.
wouldn't even
I
even
get the
needed.
knock up on him, and then I just end up behind him. So
The knockup's gone though. Don't forget that the knockup's been removed.
they removed it.
Yeah, they nerfed him.
Oh, I
They
actually
took
didn't
they
know
you
that.
still get the shield, but there's no knockup. But
Oh,
you could definitely. I mean, your soldier standing basically on top of him, and then that's a free ulti if you just go faster. Just a little bit too hesitant, like mechanical error there.
Yeah.
And then just diving when he has Verisalt, it's pretty shitty. But
I
that's
mean,
not
to
your
be
fault.
fair, I also didn't want to do it.
Yeah, that's not your fault. That's just jungler fault.
Yeah.
All right. So you
And
saw barrier.
I end up taking a lot of damage, especially from the cannon earlier too.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Good kill. And then you end up using your flash anyways, right?
Yeah.
So like, just
Yeah,
think
but
about
I
it,
knew
man.
I
Like if
didn't.
you just fucking use it earlier.
Yeah.
You don't have to be so stingy with summoners. Like it makes a difference. Obviously, a lot of the times it's good to hold on to them. Like if you don't need to use it, you obviously shouldn't use it. But in that situation where you could have just like even when you fucked up a little bit, like fuck it, I have to flash. Like whatever, just fucking flash. It's fine.
Hmm.
And then you would have had full health, and you would have got an extra wave, and he would have missed an extra wave. He wouldn't have got that kill on Wukong. It's just like a 700 gold difference, basically, if you just flash earlier. And that's just kind of how it is. That's how it all breaks down. Just for one little thing, just flashing earlier, it's like a 700 gold swing. Alright, so you take your blue. Codex, fine. Double Dorans, it's alright. I don't think you need it, personally. Especially because you need to get that blue buff. It's alright.
I actually wasn't entirely sure if I was getting blue,
Gotcha.
and so I didn't want to end up like kind of about to luck there.
Yeah. I'm torn on whether if you should build Seekers against Varus. I don't think you need it, but I haven't really played much against Varus mid. So I guess it really depends on how much you can juke. Like, don't get
Maybe
by
instead
that.
of the Dorans, I should have just gotten a cloth armor just a little bit.
Cloth armor would be good. Yeah, instead of Dorans. I like that buy, actually.
Yeah.
Because you know it'll be useful later. And, like, even if it's just, like, kind of to help you, like, not get fucked by those arrows. Like, you took, I think, only 2, and you're chunked for 600 health. That's just disgusting.
Yeah, I think that was when
Looks like your mouse is dead here or something.
yeah, that's when I was like, and I also had no idea what that Garen thing was until afterwards.
The what thing? Oh, that's the Garen, the new Garen passive?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Is it
Yeah,
on
so
you right
that's
now?
why,
You're the
yeah, it's on
enemy
me
number
because I
1.
had that kill, I guess.
Hilarious. Okay. So another thing too is you're not really doing much for
Responding
vision.
top.
Hmm?
I'm not really responding top either. I mean, you're gonna see what happens here, so.
Oh, okay. So push that out. Missed your cannon again. Missed that one too. Uh, did you see him walk up there?
Oh,
Varus, did you know he's going?
Garrus, no, I didn't. He left when I thought I guess I sort of thought he backed, but that happened when my mouse like messed up on me, so I also like wasn't even looking at my screen for probably like 5 seconds, 6 seconds while I was getting my cable.
Gotcha. Yeah, when he's this deep, you should probably go.
Yeah.
Bummer. Alright, so you know that's a mistake.
Yeah.
But another mistake that you're also making is that your vision's not existent. You're not doing anything for vision. Your trinkets in hand. You didn't buy any wards on your back, which is a big mistake, especially if you're playing mid. If you have wards up, if you have like say you have your pink over here, and then you have a ward over here, or maybe over here or something, you see Varus roaming, and you're there like before that play even happens. So just another thing to be thinking about. Like you gotta establish vision, especially as mid laner. It's like really important for mid laner and jungle, less important for top lane and support, and top lane and bottom lane because it's harder for them to get out and like get these wards here that could spot where their jungler is and where people are roaming. But everything kind of stems out from the middle, which is like jungler and mid priority, in my opinion. So if you're gonna play mid, like these mana pots, for 100% sure it would be better if you just bought a ward.
Did I just buy those?
You bought those last time you based when you bought your like after your kill. You bought some mana
Okay.
pots. I guess you're like super worried about mana. You got like 2 Dorn's rings, some mana pots.
Yeah.
Azir's mana cost isn't that bad unless you're like super spamming shit. And then like you could play around just having 1 Dorn's ring. You just have to not use your ability so much. You don't know if this is warded or not. Let's cheat and find out. It's not warded, but he has no flash, so I like playing up here a little bit more. You're pretty far back.
Yeah.
Does Wukong have ult? No, Wukong doesn't even have ult, so This is like a shit gank. This is not going to accomplish anything ever.
Yeah, I kind of get a little flamed after this.
If you maybe get like a good wall here, like if you follow up and like push him somewhere crazy, but like that's like a super sweet, like, oh my god, this is a really good Azir player play. Like it's not, you can't expect anyone to make that play unless you're playing like super high elo.
Yeah.
If this guy's flaming for that, like he has no ult, you have no flash. But he has no flash, which I guess is like the biggest thing. Oh, and I guess his ult is down. He must have used it top.
He did.
So that also has to factor in your decision too. If you know that his ult is down, like if they're telling you in team chat, then maybe play up a little bit more aggressively because you could maybe find a kill there if he misplays or if you play like super well. At the very least, you could shove him out of lane and get your free farm. Barrier for no reason. Ouch. You might flash do something to you. Oh, his ult is down. You must have juked it. Sorry, I was looking bot. Like, see what happened.
Actually, I'm not. I don't.
You must juke his ult. No, he ults you. He just hits you with it. Okay. That's why you're standing there. All right.
Yeah, you're right.
Ooh, big attempt. So his flash is down.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you ulti. That's pretty funny. So, basically what's going wrong here is his poke is out prioritizing yours. So if you want to like kind of do these kind of things, you're doing the thing where you're trying to just walk out of range and just get hit by it. You either have to make it so he has to queue minions, and you could do that by pushing waves to tower, or you just have to like go for trades and just like be confident that you're gonna win them. Because when he's like charging that up, he can't do anything but shoot his Q. So if you're kind of like getting in position to do stuff, it looks like you kind of like go for it there, but it doesn't really work out for you.
Yeah.
And then you have this whole wave here,
definitely
and you have this whole wave, and like you're gonna miss pretty much all of it because you're like so fucked.
At least he burned his flash.
He did burn his flash. That is true. So let's take a look at like the CS now. You're probably pretty far behind.
Yeah.
Even though you got that kill mid, you're down by 600, which isn't terrible, but. CS, he's only up by 14. He should be up by more. He's pushed you out of lane like 3 times now. So this is where that Seeker's arm guard might have been pretty good, because you'd have a lot more. You'd be a lot healthier in these exchanges if you had Seekers, and then just go straight for Stinger.
I guess at some point I'm just like, I know I'm gonna out DPS him later, so
Yeah.
I want to just like, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how to deal with him because I also had no idea that his cooldown gets that low just after Brutalizer that early. Because I haven't played against an Aerosmith before.
Right. Yeah, his poke isn't like insane. Like his Q is gross. But
I'm definitely still getting used to how much damage the soldiers do to minions for CSing.
Yeah, I mean that takes a little. This is a good pink. I like this pink. I like this pink a little bit better. Looks like you're gonna roam bot, and there's not too much kill potential here.
This plays bad.
I think yeah, like if you kind of look at the health bars, you don't got shit really. You got Soraka, which has like no CC. It's just basically I'm gonna keep people alive. I only like you roaming here, and they have this, so they know you're there. 100%. So like you're kind of walking up here, like this doesn't accomplish anything. They're not gonna dive when they see you.
I don't end up going in that way either.
Well, like they would know you're there because
Yeah, they
the only way you
there.
walk back mid is if you go the long fucking way around. If you go through their vision. It looks like they might be setting up a dive. You might actually want to be there.
This part, yeah, no, you're gonna see what happens. It's really bad. I get blue here from Wukong. And then we know they're gonna dive, so Wukong also comes, I think. And then I come in from the side because
coming so late.
Because I said that I'm saying we shouldn't want to fight it. And I didn't know Varus was gonna be there. So that's why I come in late, and that's when I think like 3 of them are low, and I know it's warded, but
yeah, you can't.
Doesn't
you'd have to
well.
play out of your mind to make this work, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
1 for 1. But you went so late.
Yeah, and then I just got blue buff and I lost it, so.
The blue buff's inconsequential. It's like a minor detail. The big problem there is like how late you're going. So it's one thing too, like making the calls like, look, I don't want to fight this. Like the only way we're gonna fight this is if they dive, and if you think that they're gonna dive, then you definitely have to stay, right? Because that's just, and even if Varus is mid, like you probably want to be bot if they're diving, because you'll pick up so many kills, especially with Azir when you could like push him into your turret and do wacky shit like
Mhm.
that. But if they're gonna push and go for a dive, then definitely stay. If you think that they're not gonna push, then it's definitely the correct play is just like fuck this, like I'm just going mid, and if they die, that's their own fault. And it looks like this time they did want to play pretty aggressively because like you could kind of watch and they're just pushing it into tower, and you could hang out a little bit longer and see. Especially like you could use your wall jump to go back over this way too. You won't lose that much. Uh, MF ults the wave. Yeah, and then just leaving. Like they should just leave. I don't know why they're extending. This is a cool word here. This is a nice word. They pink it.
Which one? Yeah.
And then Varus runs around. Do you have your trinket up? Oh, you got sweeper. Sweeper's good. Yeah. I mean, Wukong going in there is like this Wukong's like super bad. This Wukong's like hot garbage. Like he should not go in there ever.
He's the one who flames me. So.
Do you know what that is though? Like the flamers are always the worst players. So just fucking mute that guy.
I don't really let it get to me, but I'm like basically at some point, sometime in the middle of this game, like everyone just saying like I'm the reason we lost.
Yeah, whatever.
MF is really strong, right?
Not really.
She actually gets really strong.
Oh, okay.
I guess spoiler alert.
No, that's in spoilers. That's whatever. So yeah, your play was terrible. Wukong's play was terrible.
Exactly.
The only people that are actually like kind of doing what they should be doing is just Soraka and just kind of hanging out back here. Soraka gets hit by Varus. She might get a kill there.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah, the Soraka is actually my duo.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He usually just ADCs.
Yeah, they're doing all right. This MF's not bad. Soraka is playing that pretty smart, in my opinion. And then just the timing on your engages was like just so bad.
Yeah. And
especially after.
I feel like actually more so than the timing was just what I did. Like I didn't have to die there.
No, you definitely didn't. Yeah, you definitely.
I could have just I poked like Darius down a little bit, and then I could have just like let that be it, so that they didn't dive MF or get the tower, but they still might have anyway. And I guess because Varus was still there.
The only time those plays work is if you're hiding here and you wait for them to dive tower, and then you show up like surprise, motherfucker! I'm Azir, I got walls and shit. And that's the only time that plays like really good. Coming around this way is just like so bad. It does nothing. Yeah. If you bait a tower dive and then you make a play there, then you're the hero. But going around the side, it's never gonna work. Well, it might work. It's just very rare. It's not consistent.
I have one almost hero play in this game.
Yeah.
We'll see when it comes up.
All right. So, but the thing I want to talk about now is you were talking about earlier, like, so in your mind, you're going to be outscaling Varus with your super sweet Azir DPS, right? Which is true. But what you want to be thinking about is how can I get there the fastest, right? So winning your lane doesn't always mean that you kill them like a billion times and like they're 0 and 5. Sometimes winning lane is just getting like a good Azir player at 16 minutes is gonna have like 130 farm minimum at this time, and you have like 78. And this is because
another goal is 80 at 10 minutes, right?
80 at 10 minutes is pretty good, yeah. But the point I want to make here is your build path is shit. So you want to be thinking like, what could I have been building so that I could be maximizing my farm. So sometimes you want to build damage because like you could push them out of lane and then you could take turret and snowball a game that way. But if you're not going to be able to kill them and you're not going to be able to outplay them that hard, but you want to be building and stuff where like, okay, how am I going to get my gold? How am I going to farm all the shit that I need so that I can get to my late game? Because if like you play these characters that are late game oriented, Azir, Kale, Tristana to extent, just like a bunch of characters that scale really well. If you go for these kind of low percentage plays and they don't work out, you're not going to be useful for a really long time until like something happens where you somehow get a triple and then you kind of spike that way, or like the game just stretches to 50 minutes before you get your 4th item and then you could actually do something. So you got to be thinking like, all right, so how do I get to my late game dream of just like killing everyone with Azir? And the answer really is you want to be like, you got to get that Seekers early, I think, in this match. And just like really try to focus on farming And as well as your harass, like the harass that you've been doing is pretty decent, but you just miss so much farm that it's like hugely detrimental to your win rate on this champion. See, like that was great. Like that was a good little harass, but and then you'll probably get the skill, right? Right. Nice. All right, cool. So
I think actually Wukong gets it, but
it doesn't matter. The kill's a kill. The
yeah.
whole kill stealing thing, that's not a thing.
Oh yeah, I never mind.
Okay. Um, yeah, because League is just, it's a game of level and gold advantage. Like that's just who wins fights. Unless your team comp is like super bad and theirs is makes sense, or all things being equal, the people that win the team fights is the one with the experience and the gold advantage. It's just like it's black and white. It's really simple. So you just got to be thinking like if you didn't miss all of those waves, you might be level 13. Like you might be level 12 right now. Like you definitely wouldn't be level 11. I think you'd be much higher and you'd have a lot more gold. If you look at who has the most gold right now, Tryndamere has 6.1k. And you have 4.3, so a difference of 1.8 thousand. Like imagine if you just had an extra 1.8 thousand, right? Yeah, below you're the least, and then like you're playing a solo lane and you have the least amount of gold. I guess it's not too unusual, but it sucks. You're getting carried is what's happening, and you never want that, right? It's fine to play like, okay, I got shit on, I'm gonna play safe and I'm not gonna feed and my team will carry me. Like those games definitely exist. Those happen to everybody a lot. Like especially if you get camped by like Eve mid or something. But in this game you have no excuse not to have a shitload of gold right now. Basically because Wukong came to your lane a bunch of times. I don't think Darius has came mid and done anything once. And Varus is like up on you by 1.1k. There's like no excuse for that.
To be fair too, Wukong gave kind of gave a free kill.
That's true.
But that has nothing to do with me. So
yeah, that's true. And yeah, that's out of your hands really. Unless you played that one thing a little bit better that one time too.
This part was real bad.
Let me rewatch it. So this is another thing too, like that you have zero vision. You're not warding anything. This whole area is like your responsibility. Like you want to keep wards here, pinks, greens, whatever. And you can't count on anyone else to put that there, but you, or maybe your jungler. But this whole thing, this whole play here, your odds of winning these kind of fights shoot up exponentially. I'm not sure if exponentially makes any sense there, but sidetrack. Your odds of winning this fight are tremendously increased if you have vision, and you have zero vision. So yeah, their whole team is just living in your jungle, and you have zero vision of it, which is just basically a recipe. Is like this is just like how to lose solo queue. Like don't have vision anywhere in the map, and let them invade your jungle and roll you, and then you like, because they starve everything if they do this. They get all of this. This belongs to them. These towers are gone. You can't farm anymore. Like everything. This is probably gonna go down. Wukong is killing people apparently. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, this is
So you see Lucian over here.
For play, I tell him well in the chat I'm telling him like a lot that I'm and Varus would kill me with like one Q plus like at this point he'd kill me with one Q, right? So I was trying to tell Wukong that I'm and I'm like almost dead. So but he kind of goes in for it anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah, you don't have to waste all this mana here if you're kind of thinking that they're going to be fighting.
Well, I actually didn't. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have. I wasn't really paying attention to where my mana bar was at.
Yeah. So I mean, but like you didn't know. You're just farming, which is normal. But it's also because you have no vision. Like if you have vision here, then you know that you shouldn't be burning your mana bar there. So this whole problem, like this whole situation that's been created over here, would be solved with just wards. And like playing it right after the fact, like that's fine too. But the whole disaster could be averted if you just had wards.
Yeah. Should I have just kept my my yellow trinket?
It's if you don't plan on buying wards, then yellow's definitely better.
I think it was because I didn't really buy wards because I didn't really have gold for it.
Yeah.
Or no, I bought I think actually I bought 2 HP pots. And that was because I was just like getting poked down so quickly.
Well, when you're at those spots, like say you have 450 gold, and your choice is dagger or wards and 2 potions. Just just delay your build a little bit and get the wards because it's a better
Mm-hmm.
investment. It's always a better investment.
Okay.
And that's another reason why I don't like two Doran's rings, is because it eats up your inventory space, and you can only buy wards or potions, basically. When you get to like spots like this, you can't have both. So if you get poked, you're like, oh fuck. So you have no spots. You have one spot available, and you can buy either wards or potions right now. And let's see if you
Can you
buy
see how much
anything.
gold
Oh,
I have?
you just buy an amp tome. So like, just don't do that. It's like it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because I think I
you're sitting
remember.
on
Yeah.
600. Just buy wards. Just like fuck it. You don't like what's 20 AP gonna do for you? It's not gonna win you the game. You can
Mm-hmm.
just wait. So yeah, like that's something you gotta be thinking about. If you got double Dorans, just you gotta delay your build a little bit. 20 AP is not gonna save anything. It's not gonna change any fights. So definitely could work on your vision. Do you normally play mid? What do you normally play?
Um, I basically normally play mid. Yeah. Well, like as of late.
All right. Yeah,
Like
but
from
this
like the
extends
last
to
like
all
month and
roles,
a half.
right? All roles can benefit from
Yeah.
just really putting good wards down. Top lane, especially if you're winning top lane, like this Garen, if he's smart, he's got deep wards, like around here, maybe around there, somewhere around there, because he knows like if he's winning or like he's got an advantage, whatever, or if he's like snowballing, whatever. Um, he knows how far he could push if he has a ward like just somewhere around here. I like this intersection a lot for top side. Um, but it allows you to make less mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so kind of just going through this now. Looks like you're moving up top. Again, no vision in your jungle. Like no one's warding anything. It's like really really bad.
Yeah, I should. You're right. I definitely should have. I guess that's something I'll pick up right now. I should have.
And
Screw
if
the
no one wants a ward
small.
on your team, dude, just get the one that gives free ones for 250, the yellow
Mm,
trinket upgrade. Just fuck it. Just like get that. That guy just ate a shitload of damage.
yeah.
That's funny. Nice juke. Alright, your towers are really low. Alright, Trinimir's going in. Your team's not there, so don't really want to fight it. He has ulti.
Yeah, because I knew we didn't really know where anyone on their team was.
Yeah. I like you. I like what you're doing here. Like, you don't want to go crazy. That's Trinimir's fault. He fucked up.
I think this was the part where
Do you make a hero play with your wall or something?
I think I try. I don't remember.
You
how
could,
to
yeah,
do
this
that.
is definitely a hero play opportunity. If you go
I
earlier,
got one.
you could put your wall, you could put your turret up too, can't you?
Yeah, I should have done it earlier.
Yeah, if you go
That's
earlier
what I
there,
think I got. Yeah.
yeah, you could
I
try.
wanted to poke the ground first so that it would have been
Like, yeah,
guaranteed.
they only clump right when they clump up is when you're gonna do it. It's only because they fucked up though. Like,
Yeah.
they shouldn't have been in that spot where you're able to make that hero play. And then you got Soraka too, so you have a lot of sustain, but you're still pretty squishy.
Yeah. It's not really enough. Maybe if I dodged the Q, then I would have had enough time with my to use my own Q on them. But
Yeah, and if
Varus
you have
is telling me
Seekers
to
too, you
wait.
got like 30 more armor as well. If you think about that,
Yeah.
like all these fights, like everything is AD damage.
I feel like if I know I'm gonna have to make that sort of play, then I should be rushing his own race.
So yeah, absolutely. Like if you're making those kind of divey plays, Zonias are so good. If you had a Zonias there, but I mean like
Yeah,
that's
a lot
that's
better than my lives.
but it's also you also got to be thinking of like what build is getting me to my late game. Like what do I want? Like how am I going to get my gold? Is really that's the most important thing. Is like how am I going to make it to my build? And Zonia's doesn't really help you that much because like there's no mana regen. Um, that's why it's like Zonia's is very very rarely a good first item, in my opinion.
It's like a good second item,
It's a
right?
great second item, really fucking good second item. But it's like it's really rarely a good first item. If you really want to rush something, you could go like maybe the Forbidden Idol part of like Morello's, or maybe like the mana resist part of Chalice if you want to build a Chalice later. Um,
I feel like I definitely don't need Morello. I mean, I don't really need the mana regen.
I don't know. Like the mana regen's fine. The CDR is like it's just kind of doubly efficient. It's why that item is so good. Uh,
But isn't Nashor's also doubly efficient?
Oh yeah, it's a CDR, and yeah, that's why
Yeah,
this
it has
like.
CDR plus the attack speed, which I
Hmm.
think I think
And
this passive works
the
both
passive
ways.
doesn't even work with Azir. Like it just doesn't work. The
Oh,
passive doesn't
really?
exist. Only if you're auto attacking
Well,
without soldiers, which is like never.
well, it also makes autoing. I mean, I feel like I really like it because it makes CSing a little easier. When you're just when you're not CSing with soldiers, you don't really need to burn so much mana.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, like
I don't.
it's. I think it's the best first item on Azir, and like in my opinion, I think Stinger Nashers is just like I actually go Stinger first. I think Stinger's really good to push out the wave.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like, well, I mean,
What do you think about Ludens first?
Luden's, it's okay. I don't think it's great on Azir, um, first, because like the usually the times that I like Luden's is if it's like A, helping your wave clear, and B, like increasing your kill potential. So like on a champion like Ari, I think Luden's first is like super strong because Luden's helps you clear the wave really quickly, and then you could roam and snowball a game. Because like when you're playing Ari, a lot of the times you're making plays on other places of the map. Like sometimes you kill a mid, and that's always really good. But like a really strong Ari play, like usually stronger than just killing their mid laner, is you could Q and then like a couple autos and your wave is dead, and then you could roam to a side lane and snowball someone else, and maybe like get a double somewhere, and like those kind of plays, especially that's when you'd really want your sweepers, right? Because like you'd want to be sweeping this area a lot and checking to see where their vision might be, having a pink over here somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and like making sure like okay, if I roam, are they gonna know for sure that I'm coming? And if you ever play champions that like to roam, it's always a good thing to be thinking about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch, Varus, Jesus Christ.
Yep. And then I have to back because I can't dodge anything,
Yeah, that's fine.
and
You do
that
have
leads to
Soraka,
this.
so she could heal off this.
It basically, yeah, maybe I should have just waited for Soraka to heal me, but it leads to this play.
All
I
right.
remember this happening.
So basically, a clusterfuck, bunch of people dying. They're pretty low. You're
Yeah,
down
and I'm
three.
only getting there now.
I mean, that's not your fault. You guys should have just sacrificed the tower because you got poked down. Like getting poked down sucks, but if you guys get poked down, you have to like realize, okay, just give the tower up. It's not the end of the world. It's better than losing three people and the tower, which is that's what the result is. So it's really their bad for sticking around so long after you
Well,
left.
this part's my bad. So
All right, we'll see.
uh,
Yeah, she's gonna stun you. You're Denzo. It's a bummer.
I was trying to just get the kill on Annie, but I should have not even bothered.
You might have been able to get her
Like,
if
yeah, but
you.
even if I did, like, is it really worth it? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. So let's fast forward a little bit here. Just another recurring theme, just like the vision's so bad. So, but it's also hard to establish vision when you're behind because they're like kind of controlling your side of the map. So these wards are coming down now. I'm assuming this is Soraka. Yeah, Soraka here.
yep.
Wukong put this one down, so that's a good job by Wukong. And whoever put this one down, Soraka. So your Soraka friend's doing pretty well, I think.
Hmm.
All right, so shit's going. Ooh, Annie.
Yep.
I mean, no one's there. It's a bummer. What are you gonna do? Not much to say. You guys aren't actually that far behind, so if you guys like just group up instead of running around doing shit like by yourselves, you could win these fights. But no one seems to want to. Like you're getting blue, which is pretty good, and I think these guys should just wait. They're just being impatient. Um, Soraka's getting vision, trying to make sure people don't get fucked, but she did her best. People just refuse. They refuse to wait, so what can you do?
He's gonna like hearing that you commend this play.
I mean, like, I think what's going on in his head is like, all right, uh, MF is pushing bottom, which is a valid play. You're getting blue, which is a valid play. These people are pushing top, and you guys got wards, but you don't have enough pressure. Like they were just here on your side of the
Hmm.
map. You guys don't have enough pressure to get these wards out here safely. So I mean, like they're idiots for being this far out. It's just like so bad. So that's their fault. I like the words that he's putting down. These are good. And then you got the Baron one over here, I'm guessing. Fuck yeah, dude. This guy's a beast. Smart. That's really smart play.
I'm gonna quote that.
I mean, like people think like, oh, support, you can't carry. Like this shit that she's doing here is doing by far the most good out of anybody on your team right now. Like this is the
Hmm.
most useful thing that's happening for your team. Uh, these two dying top did nothing. You getting blue did nothing. MF farming helped a little bit, but like this vision and like that's she's doing exactly what she should be doing. That's really good. Ooh, that flash is gonna do nothing for you.
Yeah, that was just bad. I was wasn't. I thought he was gonna pull me like then, but it was just him moving.
Yeah.
So I
They
misjudged it.
changed it now that you could flash after the animation starts. I'm not sure if you remember the old Darius where if you'd flash, it'd
No, I
still
don't.
grab you, and it was like the stupidest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Was that release Darius?
I'm not sure if it was a release Darius, but it's definitely Darius before this patch. Uh,
Okay.
so if you flash and you're clearly out of the hook range, but if you flash after he starts his animation, if you're in the range when he starts casting, you get hooked regardless. Like you could be
Hmm.
basing, and like I think there was like a leak video where someone showed this. If you're basing and the cast starts, like somehow Darius got the cast to go off, and then he ended up in his base, and he hooked literally like the whole like the animation starts in the fountain and finishes in the fountain, and people get hooked to the fountain, they die instantly.
Wow,
Just
that's pretty
super shit
ridiculous.
coding. Uh,
Spaghetti code.
Spaghetti code, man. So this is some wards that could have been like wards here. You guys don't die, but um, in general, you guys being here, what are you gonna do? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
what do you stand to gain if you're there? You have your Wukong is just now spawning. Your Tryndamere dead for 8 more seconds. Their whole team's top.
It's just what you were saying before the vision. I didn't think their entire team was top, so maybe we could delay it. The I thought we might have been able to delay it, but then I see Darius coming in from the side, and this is not going to happen.
Yeah,
And I also should have known they could have just dove us.
if you don't have vision, always assume the worst. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's like it's just the best way to play. Like you could take those risks and sometimes they pay off, but usually they're not going to pay off. And when they don't, you just lose so much. Like you guys lost one, you had to use everything, your flash, your barrier, and you lost the tower too, right? So you just like you spent so much of your resources. All right, so it looks like you guys might make a pretty good play here. This is a good engage. Soraka's not there, but it's not the big deal. All right. So good engage there. You're just there, which is all that needs to be said. So good job.
Yeah, at least.
Like you're just there, so that's like good. Like good job. You were there
Yeah,
for
this is
that
the
play.
point where they basically. I mean, you see them; they have no MR, so
Oh yeah,
they only have armor.
yeah. And you're going for your Rylai's. You sold stuff, but you like no wards ever. It's like ever. So bad.
Yeah.
All right, going for Baron. It's just Garen, so this should be free. Bummer for Soraka. If you're there, you could wall that. You're
Should I have stayed in the pit?
you're totally just like fuck you team. I'm just gonna DPS this shit from over here. If you're over
Yeah,
here
I
with
mean, to be
Soraka,
honest, I was like, these guys were just raging at me before. Like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna just make sure I don't die.
yeah,
But
no, but I mean,
then I let my duo partner die. So
yeah, yeah. Just do you ever like just type mute all? Do you ever do that?
no,
Uh,
because I guess I like to think I don't. None of them really get to me.
I mean,
I guess this is something where I totally should have just like stayed with them
yeah.
in the pit.
Cause like
I knew
you're
it was
saying it's
just
not getting to you,
guaranteed.
but like you're staying way the fuck over here, like because they're raging at you. Yeah, whatever,
And
man.
I also think I did that because I always see like Azir streamers just doing it from there. But that's probably because other people are up too.
Yeah, it's other people are up, but you have to. assess the situation, right? If there's like maybe a big team fight's breaking out and you don't want to be in a spot where you get caught, but it's just Garen. Like, I don't, maybe patch Garen, maybe he's like a super big monster and he'll just poop on your chest, but I don't think he's that big of a threat. And even if he is, like, he's still Garen and you still have Azir ult. Like, you just push him, it's like, fuck off.
True.
So, I mean, just because you see somebody do something doesn't mean it's the best play for that
Yeah.
situation. So it's a mindset kind of thing. It's like, what's you got to be thinking for yourself when you play League. Like, you got to think like, okay, what's right. So right now, what's our best way to win? Like for you, what's your best way to win this game? What do you think?
Group.
Group. Yeah, group. Get vision. You have Baron buff, so maybe Dragon. You got 2 Dragon advantage. Basically, just group and get vision, and then maybe siege something. Your top wave is pushing super hard, so someone will probably have to go and deal with that. So you'll probably be able to make your way down towards bottom. I'm not sure if you like have any theory or like reasoning for target tower priority. Some people like mid because it kind of opens up their jungle. Some people like bottom because if you push out bottom and then get your way to bottom inhibitor, then you're like guaranteed barons a lot of the time because like they have to go so far to protect their base, like their Nexus turrets when super minions are coming by. But basically, you want to be doing something that's advantage. So grouping up, getting stuff.
Yeah, I think we end up doing Dragon.
That's
and
fine.
I think I wanted to go mid because honestly, just because I feel like Dragon isn't like a huge objective unless you get fifth.
It's not. I completely agree with you, actually.
And I feel like the only reason I ever even want to go for Dragon is just so like they don't get fifth Dragon, like more like denying them a Dragon.
Hmm. Yeah, like I agree. I have a theory that if there is a patch right now, like imagine if this patch right now, the Dragon buffs didn't work. I have a theory that no one would notice. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like imagine that
Absolutely.
if people got dragons and the buffs did nothing. I think it'd be like weeks before anyone
Wouldn't notice.
why did my AD go up by 6%? I'm like, what the fuck? It's like 6%. It counts. It certainly counts. But like when you win, it's because you're just fucking winning. It's not 6% AD. It's like, oh, that 6% really fucking snowballed us. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just like, I mean, I think it makes sense for like high elo play. Like then you might notice it, but
Yeah, and actually the movement speed buff is actually fucking huge. Like that's actually a really good one for certain team comps, and like it's a mini permanent silver ult, man. It's like it's free movement speed. That's huge. That's really good.
yeah, I think I heard the first, third, and the fifth ones are the big ones.
Yep, those are the only ones in my mind. Those are the only ones that matter.
Yeah.
So let's see what's going on here. All right, so you're around here. Trinimir's. Why is MF back there? I guess she wants to farm. If MF's not there, you shouldn't be fighting. But given the current situation, you
I don't
have
think
to
I had a
fight.
choice.
Yeah. So. Oh, bummer. You're so far back. Your positioning here is like super bad.
Well, I also thought we were going back after Wukong died, but then well,
I mean, you got to play to the team, right? And like
Yeah.
the worst case scenario, if you're up in the front lines a little bit, you could just ult people off. So Wukong goes in, blows thing. That sucks, obviously.
yeah, Trent goes in.
You just want to be putting down damage safely. So being over here is all right. If you had a ward, you could ward over this wall and fuck with Varus.
Yeah, I could have just. I mean, I also knew I could have known he was there anyway, just because of his arrow.
And then your soldiers get vision too, so you could be messing with Varus. Like prioritizing Garen, not that huge of an impact in the team fight. Prioritizing this guy,
Oh,
if
yeah.
this guy got chunked, he just double crit. Oh my god, if you poked him once, he died already. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of the prioritization's not there. Being over here on this
that's,
side.
At some point later, you'll see that I finally realized to stop bothering to attack the closest target and use my range, because I didn't really think I had the range to like go for like a Lucian there, and then I just like realized I do.
Well, I mean, yeah, Lucian, especially in this fight, going for Lucian would be pretty bad. But you could, like,
Well, I
Varus
mean,
is.
in general, like I have the range to do it.
Sure. Yeah, but I mean, like, you could be. This is so much damage that you could be doing here. on this guy.
Yeah, especially to Varys. I should have just queued that to Varys.
And the
That
Q
would
auto,
have
and
probably
then
at least 2/3, right?
probably a half, I would
Combo.
guess. But, oh my god. Crit, crit, what's the percent? What's she at? She's
Yeah, I
got a
just play way
static and
too.
a. She's like at
Play
like a
way
one
too
third.
scared.
She hit the 1 out of 9. That's pretty sick.
I just play way too safe.
Yeah, and especially when you got like Azir walls and stuff, you could kind of try to make weird plays. But just so
Uh,
far back, dude. So far back.
Super scared.
Yeah. All right. So Trinimir's pushing bot. He has TP, so this is another super valid play. Trinimir's doing stuff. You guys pressure one place. Your Soraka has no health, so. Who she went for Zeke's. She's so squishy.
Yeah,
It's
we don't.
hilarious.
I don't think we get anything off this.
Yeah, I mean, like you just kind of you gotta assess the situation. So like, what are you doing here? Like, what do you stand to gain? A little bit of farm, that's it. But just base, dude. Just go heal and get ready for the next battle, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Farming this stuff, whatever. I mean, like, what is this doing for you? It's not doing anything. And now you're just wasting your team's Baron buff because you're low. I guess Soraka could heal you if you had that ticking in the back of your head, and then you get blue. All right, but now you're
Yeah, I think I
basing.
didn't want to base because yeah, I should.
And like
Yeah, okay, I
you
guess
just
I did
wasted so
base.
much
I was
time.
dumb.
Yeah, that's just like such a waste of time. Uh, if you just go straight for blue and then like group up, like tell your team, listen, I'm gonna get blue first, and then we're gonna group. Like that's valid. But like if you're here so much earlier, and this guy's fucked now, it
Yeah,
sucks. But just really bad timing, and just like as soon as you put
could
that
have.
turret
Yeah.
up, as soon as you had your Azir turret up, just base. Like those wraiths and whatever. Like even if like it gets you to your next item, it's not worth. It's definitely not worth it.
Should I have just saved the Azir turret too? Because I knew we were. I guess I could have known that we weren't going to stay there.
I
But
don't know.
got what you
Sometimes
wanted.
I don't think it's terrible to use it so you could like be able to base. I don't think that's that
Hmm.
bad of an idea. But you could definitely save it for next time you're sieging because the siege was definitely over. So
Yeah, this is when I'm attacking like the tanks basically.
yeah. Well, sometimes you have to, especially when they have like Annie, but Annie's ult is down. Like Annie Varys, both their ults are down. So yeah, prioritizing the tank's not super good. You could E in probably. You have Soraka backing you up. Oh, but they got. Oh, maybe not. This is pretty scary. Nice kill. If you really outplay this Soraka, you'd probably win. Because you could. Yeah, you got it. Nice. Because you have a Zero wall. You could shove Garen off you. Alright, so
Yeah,
you're.
I don't think we get anything from us just bothering Garen here.
Alright. So. Who's up?
Yes, we
Lucian,
did.
Darius. Okay. You're just kind of pushing. It's not terrible. Farming up a little bit. See, like your team is just like everyone's just doing their own thing. Um, that's it's like a little bit of everyone's fault, I think. But I think you guys need to be timing things a little bit better and just like kind of having a plan. Like you guys have no plan, is what I'm kind of feeling here, right?
Hmm.
So like when you're looking at the objectives, Baron's in a minute 30, Dragon's in a minute 45. So what you want to be doing here is you want to get your shit pushing, which is top is pushing, bottom's going to meet in the middle, so that could go either way. But you want to get your shit pushing so you could extend and get vision around the Baron area, because that's like the next big objective.
So like I guess like you're right. There basically was like not really any communication going on, and from the start of the game, I think basically what happened was Trin was like all chat just like flaming Darius like and then like just really weird. I don't know, but like something he did well, but I still reported him basically.
Gotcha.
And like then Wukong and MF sort of got into like an argument. And then after that, like basically no one talked.
That's fine.
Like I don't think I'm not sure if there was any ping saying like going in either. Like so definitely it doesn't usually happen. This game was just extra no communication.
hmm This is good. Like I think your positioning here is really good. Everything's so far like you got a lot of damage in that fight. You did a lot of work that fight. That was really good positioning, just kind of chilling back, acting like an AD carry. That's basically how you play Azir. You just act like you're an AD carry, unless you're making some like really crazy Azir wall play with your Zonias, and then you kind of go crazy. But
I don't think I used them in this game.
all right, so you get mid, Baron set up, heal. I think. I guess you could take tower. They're up
Yeah.
in 15. They might rush Baron off this if you guys like get greedy and get picked. No, actually, it's a good call. Now base, just
Yeah,
base, just
we get
base.
inhib and then I think we Baron actually.
Oh really? This is risky.
I think it was a sort of bet that I pinged. I mean, this was me pinging the play actually to check blue and then Baron as soon as Wu's up.
Okay.
As soon as Wu can get there.
And then
But
yeah, they get caught by Tryndamere. Tryndamere scores a double.
yeah, yeah. So Trend actually catches them, which is when we were like, all right, let's just Baron now.
Yeah, Baron time. All right, that's
Not
free.
really.
Yeah, cool.
Five auto attacks and they're totally fair.
hmm But one thing I do want to mention is like you're saying, like the team has no communication or everything. But if you kind of have these goals in your mind while you're playing, like you could lead your team to these kind of plays. If you're already mid and you're like pushing this wave out, and then you're the first one to be out here getting vision for your team, like a lot of time the team will follow up and stuff. You just got to be thinking about how you could use your time more efficiently, because like a lot of times like you're taking wraiths or so, like taking whatever, like farming a little bit, poking something that doesn't need to be poked, when you could be securing vision for your team, or you could be pushing a certain place, and then like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like you could,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
realize like, okay, I'm chunked, I have no mana, like let me just get this last wave and I'm gonna base now so that if something does happen, I'm useful, right? All right, so
The rest, the game's basically over. The Trend just gets like a triple or something.
all right. Cool. So like yeah, like your score makes it look like that you did really well, but you didn't do very
Yeah,
well.
that's what I told you coming into it.
Yeah, like
Right?
you didn't
I
do
told you.
shit. You got carried this game.
I told you I had like a good KDA, but it didn't. I know I didn't do well. It was just because they didn't build any MR. Like you can see, I think there was like only Darius who had like a null magic mantle or something.
I will
Like, yeah,
say
expect.
your late game, your team fighting and like you poking the tanks, that was good actually. That was all your team fighting at the end. I'm on board for. I thought it was good. You're hitting the things that are in front of you. You're not putting yourself in danger of getting like anti-ulted into whatever, like Garen ult or something crazy. So I think your positioning in the end was fine. But
So
uh,
two main issues, I guess, probably were number one vision, and two laning pre six. My what you were saying with the wave,
mhm,
pushing the wave so that so like we swap positions basically, where I'm not like the one scrambling around and he is.
right, yeah, and then yeah, like when you're playing mid or when you're playing any lane, you just kind of how could I get myself an advantage, right? And then
Hmm.
if you're trading someone that has flask 3 pots, man, it's just you gotta really outplay him. You have to really outplay him, or the match has to be really in your favor. And like Varus' Azir is, it's pretty even, it seems like, and
Hmm.
you're not gonna get that free damage unless you pushed him to turret. And if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to really control your vision and really have good awareness. Gotta always be looking out of where the jungler could be, because when
Okay.
like what a lot of people ends up happening is like when they do in that point where they're pushing in a tower a lot and they're like really abusing the laner. Oh, I'm winning lane, but then they get ganked because they don't have vision. Like, oh, I was crushing this guy. It's like, not really, man. Like you played too aggressively and you got punished. Just because your aggression was working earlier doesn't mean it was better. Like it's clearly
Hmm.
worse because now you're losing, so it's clearly worse, right? So it's
So
just
um, what I did wrong basically also had nothing to do with the matchup either. Like I could have known like very little about Azir or very little about Varus and like how the matchup is supposed to play, and I
um
still could have done better.
yeah. I guess like those kind of situations where I'm not too sure on this. Actually, I could be wrong on it, but I think those times where he's like just charging his Q and you're like just running, like, oh, please don't fucking hit me. Like, maybe it's better if you just kind of like walk forward and then just get your Q on him, and then like if he's gonna charge up and
A
shoot that
couple auto
shit, you're
attacks.
gonna hit
Yeah.
him with a Q and 2 autos, like, and that's the trade. and I think you win that. I'm not sure though. I That's something that you'd have
Hmm.
to test. That's like a real champion mastery kind of thing. Um, but just like just thinking of the lane as a whole, like definitely don't be trading into early anyways into flask 3 pods.
Hmm.
And then yeah, just the vision over here, mid lane was like non-existent for you. You didn't contribute anything over there.
Yeah,
That
other
one
than that, like
time,
pink early, I didn't really like two pinks, and that was probably it.
yeah, and that one time you ran bottom, you could have baited a tower dive, and that would have been pretty good. And then you're pretty indecisive on that one kill when Wukong was mid, and you had your pink in that bush. Remember?
Hmm.
Just really indecisive on burning your stuff, which ended up going pretty
I
poorly
ended up
for
burning
you.
it anyway, but yeah.
Hmm. And focus on your farming. It took you a long time to get, and the only reason you got fed this game is because you seem to last hit pretty well on champs. So like that's
Yeah.
not a long-term strat. You gotta focus on getting your gold because that's how you
Hmm.
carry. That's how you carry in this game is just getting your gold.
Well, that's
Yeah,
one way of getting your gold, right?
that's certainly one way, but it's not a
Not the
consistent one.
best way. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I think
I knew this game was like one of those games where there's like a ton to work on.
every game, man, like that's the thing. Like people play this game and then like, oh man, I crushed him. I didn't fuck up any. Like bullshit, dude. Like what are you? Like you're gold 5 and you went 20-2. I bet you I could give me 10 minutes of your fucking replay. I'll tell you 50 things you did wrong. You know what I mean? It's just like
Hmm.
everything
But
counts.
like,
Everything
but when
counts in
I'm
this game.
but when I'm doing well, like I have so much gold that a lot. I'll be like, okay, like now I know I should prioritize wards over like an amp tome.
Hmm.
But like if I'm doing well, then I don't really have the situation where I'm buying an amp tome. I'm buying like an item, and then I have gold still.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess something I learned. So,
Yeah, yeah, and like when you're crushing them, dude, like when you're pushed in here and you get their tower early, and then you put these wards, like let me get this victory screen out of my face, and like you
mhm.
get deep wards like over here, like down here, over here, like their jungler can't do shit on the bottom half of the map. Like if you have this ward here and this ward here, what is their jungler ever gonna do? Like on is to your bot lane, like nothing. Like you relieve so much pressure from your bot lane by doing this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And like it's just even if you're like going kind of even, but like when you just that vision, it counts so much. And I think if you really focus on if you like kind of go into your next games and think about, all right, what kind of vision helps my team the most? Because like it's also that kind of thing. Like, all right, Baron spawning in a minute 30. What kind of wards would be the best for us? Like what would really be good? Or dragon spawning,
Mhm.
whatever. Or maybe like I'm gonna push this out. We're gonna rotate bottom. What kind of vision helps? Like if you really
I think
think
this is
about that.
actually.
Hmm?
Sorry, keep going.
If you really think about this for your next couple games, like I think you'll see like a really big improvement on like the way your games play out because
Mhm.
that'll change a lot in your games if you really think about what kind of vision is going to be useful because you have to think wards last 3 minutes. So in the next 3 minutes, where's the enemy probably going to be, and knowing this information, does that help me or not, right?
Mhm.
So like, all right, so that's a kind of like planning that you want to have. Yeah, it takes some foresight. And you got to like think about it, but it'll
Yeah.
it'll tremendously improve the consistencies in your game, for sure.
Yeah, I think usually I mean this game I didn't have the upgraded sweeper, but in I think most of my games I probably have an upgraded sweeper,
Hmm.
and I do a lot of sweeping, but yeah, you're right. I definitely don't do enough warding.
Hmm. Yeah, and like
So,
pinks too. Like always have a pink down, like all the time.
mhm.
Always want to have a pink down. It's just so strong. It's just yeah, it's just
Just have
really
another
good.
tower that doesn't shoot at you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what kind of stood out to me. If you got any other like kind of things that you're thinking about or something from the game or
I
anything
think
else you want to talk
a
about in
lot of it
general.
was also a lot of it was also mechanical, but it's definitely not the reason. Like anything happened, and
Hmm.
um, some of that at least will be improved just by playing Azir.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like your
But
EQ
again, not
combos
the
and
reason.
stuff. Yeah, but I mean like mechanics, in my opinion, they don't. It's not what you need to climb. You don't need mechanics to climb. You
I
could
mean,
play
if I'm
like
playing Azir, then I should at least be able to do the combo.
nah, dude. Like just the damage you're doing is fine. Like if you're just standing in the back and you know how to Q and right click, I think people could probably get to diamond without even touching E or R. if they, you know, like not even fucking with you. Like if they know how to farm and they know how to get vision and they know how, like you could probably get to diamond without ever using ERR on Azir. He's like
Hmm.
that strong of a character from range, and it just yeah, it's just like you could definitely carry just with that alone. And
Hmm.
just like macro play is so big, and mechanics obviously help. Like it's cool to have those sick ass insect Azir walls where you dash behind five people and push them into these crazy situations, but those plays happen like once every other game, maybe,
The
maybe.
Shurima shuffle.
The Shurima shuffle, man. Yeah. I don't know. You got anything else?
I think that's it. I think you went over a lot. Really appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, just like message me on the league or something. Tell me how things are going. I always like to hear. This one dude I was helping out, he's plat 3. He's already in plat 1 right now, and he's going for his diamond promo. Super stoked for that guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then the
I
fucking dude in silver, I helped him, and then he just fucking never heard from him again. So fuck that guy.
well, I my goal right now has well, my goal like this week is basically my goal until the end of the month basically is get to gold 1 and then plat 5 uh, within a week after that, which I
Cool.
think is doable.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
I
Where are you right now?
yeah, I'm gold 3. I think it's 70 something LP,
Mm-hmm.
80 something LP. I think it's I have like a 59% win rate over 160 games this season
Cool.
or something.
But all that matters is that last 10 or 20, man.
Oh yeah,
What's your win
obviously
rate
doesn't
at that
make any
last 10?
difference. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why like I feel like it's been really easy, like comparatively, until yesterday, today, like, and I could already tell it was starting getting a little tougher,
Mm-hmm.
and like I wasn't entirely sure which part of my game was the thing that was wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's never one thing, man. There's so many variables in this
Hmm.
game that it's just you got to think about all of them. It may not seem like something so simple would matter, but a lot of the times it snowballs, and
The small things.
the small things, it all adds up. It really does all
Yeah.
add up. And it took me a long time to realize this. Like I always thought, like, okay, if I just master this one thing, I'm gonna be the best. And then, like, no, there's so many nuances. And if you really want to climb and get good at this game, you got to think about everything.
Hmm. All right. Well, thank you again.
No problem, man. Yeah, get back to me, and then if you want to like do another one in a week or something, I'm down and I'll help you out.
Yeah, I
See
feel
how it
like I should at
goes.
least practice what happened or what you were saying talking about until I send you another VOD.
Yeah, and I'll put this on YouTube, and then
Hmm.
I'll send you a link to my YouTube channel. It's just kind of it's new. There's nothing really on there, but
Hopefully someone
if you
learns
want,
something
like,
from
yeah,
it.
like some people rewatch their VODs after they do it, and they say it just kind of
Hmm.
helps the things stick, or like I rewatched it and I saw myself fuck up this, and I don't know, just going over it again helps lessons stick. So
Hmm.
up to you, obviously. But
Yeah, definitely. Send me a link.
all right, man. Good
All right.
luck.
Thank you. See
Later.
you.